Well, Willem, he had very, very strong words for what many people consider will be the conclusion of this CIA report, that Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, was directly involved in the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. He said that that had no basis in truth, and he also went on to say that any people or nations that seek to remove the leadership of Saudi Arabia are not just against the leadership here, they're also against the Saudi people themselves. So he had very, very strong words in condemning this CIA report that we have yet to see, that's to be released in the coming hours out of Washington. A lot of questions over whether or not the Trump administration is going to consider this a smoking gun that directly links the Crown Prince to the murder of Mr. Khashoggi. And of course, you have to remember that this does all have implications for what's happening back here in Saudi Arabia, because on the one hand, you have folks telling me that they're hoping that this incident's going to lead to more transparency from the government. They're hoping that the trial of these 5 Saudi nationals that are now being charged with potentially the death penalty, that trial will be opened up for folks to come in terms of the press and that kind of thing. But at the same point, there is also a lot of worry about how Saudi Arabia's reputation has been damaged internationally and certainly with the global financial community as well. And really, the story comes down to whether or not Saudi Arabia can now be considered a risky investment destination. And if that means that, you know, when people want to borrow here in Saudi Arabia, that means they're going to get charged more. So certainly that's something that folks are worried about here on the ground. Now, right now, the entire Saudi cabinet is headed to Book to be meeting with the king. They're going to be in consultation together. Hopefully, I would imagine, trying to craft some kind of response to what we're going to hear from this report later today. And of course, the big question is going to be, will this have an impact on international investment in the kingdom, and will it have a long-term impact on the Saudi economy? And of course, what we heard from King Salman yesterday was a big emphasis on charging the Crown Prince with creating jobs in this country. So a lot is at stake here. And of course, we've also heard that MBS will be traveling to that G20 summit that's directly ahead of the OPEC, non-OPEC meeting in Vienna, which of course I will be attending and bringing all of the latest to you live. Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.